Hello, my fellow celebrants. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, episode 24, Rewed. Also, drop that package of oatmeal, because you don't really need to eat it anymore. I think what I'm going to do is, because I don't have the mod working, I'm going to sacrifice the 22 coal and just dev mode refuel the fireplace, and I'll have to fix this for next stream. Once the campfire runs out of fuel. I am curious how viable it is to try to... What is your temperature tolerance? Negative 36? To try to deep drill even in the winter for coal. And yeah, they're mostly idle. There's not much to do. Oh, you know what? I just realized. Didn't put that back. Yeah, it's pretty warm in here. One heater. In fact, I'm gonna reduce this heat capacity to the lower edge of, like, temperature tolerance, just so it doesn't really have to run very hard. But it seems to be fine as long as we can survive the trip. Okay, dev mode. Destroy the coal. And... Actually, can you even refuel with dev mode? I don't think you can. So, spawn... Oops. There. I'll get that patched for next stream. Normally you would be able to refuel with coal. In God mode, dev mode? I thought I was in God mode, dev mode. Oh, yeah, right here. Set fuel max. Okay. Well, next time. So we found plasteel, iron, and coal. So we will have steel making once it's warm enough to get out there. What we really need is deep wood, and the search for deep wood has been brutal to find. Another thing I realized is the warm zone should include these shelves now, instead of where the shelves used to be. So that people can grab a meal when they're hypothermic. And I'm going to be really bad at micromanaging the deep drill power. So hopefully Zeusin scans wood, because that would be a game changer. If we did get a source of wood, obviously we'll be able to start to power up the wood-fired arc, and then we can use... We can run things, you know, run our hydroponics without worry, and run the high-tech research bench to start to get fabrication to make components, and then run heaters to be able to turn on, or to keep the resource grinders running, and you know, it starts to snowball as soon as we have more reliable power. But it all hinges on her finding it. So here's Axios is disenfranchised, cabin fever, 8 nutrient paste meals, slept in the cold, ratty apparel. It's adding up. Oh, I did not change prisoner meals. Good point. Well, no, I don't really need to. Because they're not, they haven't converted yet. So they're set to anything, which also allows for nutrient paste. Alright, Fishpick, you want to go out to the mines? I think I'm going to take Cardinal off of Deep Drill, just because she's not as skilled as Fishpick. Also is a different idea. She is Stalwart, so she doesn't have mining bonuses anyway. We're about to brown out, though. Really? Like, ran out there and stopped working. I think in Fishpick's case, or in the case of everyone, now that we kind of have stuff to do, I'm going to fill in their anytime back with work time. Because I don't want to see them abandon their workplaces. Honestly, given that this is to fight the cold, it's going to have to be on all the time, we might as well just make it as hot as it can be. Help people recover from hypothermia. Alright, Zeusin, come on, scan them wood. And Axios, you want to harvest early? Might as well. We are 2 days out from winter, and come winter, we'll be able to fire up the corpse furnace if we need to. Let's hope we don't, but if it gets to that. I've also not been so diligent at removing corpses. For non-fire. You know what? Actually, let's not... Another raid from Godless. Pretty simple weapons there. Shotgun's probably the most dangerous. 2 revolvers. Here, who's got the go juice? Bollard. Bollard's good with frag nades, so they're a high priority. And then there Egan and is the other one to watch. Everybody drafted, everybody up, everybody head into the warmest room in the base so that we can remove as much hypothermia before we have to go muster. I don't want anyone hypothermic heading into this. It is negative 81 Celsius out, so it's going to be relatively easy to let the cold do a lot of the work, and that's what we'll probably end up doing. So, taking a look at insulation, these two are horribly insulated. Decent, good, good. Bad, terrible, bad. Yeah, a lot of them have really terrible insulation numbers. Terrible. Meaning, yeah, we can let the cold have them succumb. Hey, Axios, while we're all standing here, how about you keep sewing? Okay. There we go. So the Gojist one is coming in first. I don't even really need to prioritize their target, because everyone's going to prioritize it. And Fishpick is waiting by the rear door to toggle flop that. I feel like Lord of the Rings with the Uruk-hai with the flame. Take them down! Alright, they're down. Fish, let's toggle flop. Now that they're shooting back. And while we do that, we could just warm up. We don't have particularly high hypothermia, but we could bring it even lower. There is a secondary group that is moving quick, but one of the things we could do is we can ambush them. They have pretty short range, so Zeusin and Axios can head out there and ambush, and then Pierogadog and Cardinal can get ready to shoot at the ones that are repositioning. Dividing and conquering. I should get in the habit of closing the outside door, because I can always, yeah, in this case, it looks like they're going to maybe destroy it. I can close the second door. Oh, no, they didn't destroy it. Good. Hypothermia is hitting the raiders here. They're getting... Oh, wow. What, brain? No, just hypothermia plus pain. You just died. Alright, those guys are fleeing. This group doesn't know what to do. These guys are going around. They have short-range weapons, so I'm going to get ready to go ambush them too. Oh, you died, hypothermia. Yeah, raids in the winter, a lot less serious than the raids in the summer. Most of these folks are dying with very little intervention from me. Browning, so we'll flick. I like how he, like, dropped and then got back up somehow. Okay, I don't imagine they're gonna have much will to fight us after that. Any of them have, like, secret meals on them? Meds, ambrosia, that's kind of food. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, technically you could come into the base, but you don't even have a weapon, so I'm not, like, too worried about you. No, so none of them have meals like Grumpy did. Space nerd. That's a backstory. Godless are fleeing. That's right. And if Axios has to deal with nutrient paste meals, which piss him off, he might as well benefit from some death. Axios zone is... Oh, you know what? We can't really do any corpse hauling because there's literally not even space for it. There. Now there's somewhere to put them. Let them warm up a little bit, but... Oh, I thought I set this up right. Yeah, how are you hauling there? You're... Oh, No, I screwed up. Warm or close should not be allowed in there. Maybe that's what I did before, too, when they were hauling to the wrong zone. Nope. Nope. That's corrected, so I don't know. Alright, whatever. They all had to haul a few corpses. Not gonna kill them. Out of your misery. I think that's all raiders accounted for. And most of the corpses are all sorted. 2 days until winter. Again, another coal to fire trade. Just because it will be working like that. After I fix it. And when I fix it, I'll the modified simple chains steel mod that I'm using. I'll upload that to my website so that you guys can download the fix. I could probably find a mod that does it, but I'll code it for myself. That'll be easier. The pilgrims are desiring a Union Hall sculpture. Ah. I see, said the blind man, peering into the wind. Well, it's a lot of steel to make the bench, but, I suppose I'll allow it. As we do technically have the reagents to make steel, we just haven't been able to exploit it yet. Must say, I did not expect the nutrient paste meals to stretch our food quite as effectively as it has. I think that's... Oh no, there's still more corpses. Ah! Plasteel again! What the hell? At this point, like, I'm a little worried that I screwed up my own, deep timber mod. That its plasteel finding is, like, bugged. Oh, wow. Guaranteed find a gold right inside of her base. That's nice. I mean, I have everything I need for the multi-analyzer, but at least we don't have to go far for that. I'm double-checking my buried timber mod right now to make sure I didn't screw up any numbers. Silver, gold. Commonality is normal. Steel commonality is correct. If you're wondering, we can't scan steel anymore. It doesn't exist. It only exists in iron and coal. Plasteel's commonality is not bugged. It's high, but not Okay, yeah, no, okay. It wasn't a bug with the mod I made. It's just chance that we got a bunch of plasteel. I confirmed. Berry timber worked for you? Just took a while to find it? Yeah. Oh, it's words. I also forgot to mention that I had fixed or have fixed the ideology happiness mod that was bugged, or rather, Cathanon fixed it for me. So it now works as intended. Meaning, if you want to follow along and play with faction politics, the faction politics mood modifiers work, whereas before they didn't. So, we wanted a Union Hall statue. I'm obviously going to make this out of slate. And we're going to make this with Cardinal. We're going to have another brown out here in a moment. And before I start planting other things like cotton, I really want to amass a very healthy amount of rice first. So that I'm way outside of the range of, like, starvation. You know, think of it from the perspective of the survivors here. They have been nearly starving to death for, like, multiple seasons. So they're not comfortable with only having a little bit of food available. They want to see a very full granary before dedicating resources to anything but food. I think that's also pretty reasonable. Put yourself in their shoes. Would you rather starve to death or have some tattered clothing? I know what I would pick. I have tattered clothing on right now. Most of my clothing IRL is pretty tattered. So yeah, I've already made that choice. And then, once Cardinal finishes with the Union Council Hall statue, they'll commence work for the Council Hall. The Union Hall and then the Council Hall. Instead of going up to the deep drill, because we're so power, in such a power deficit, I'm going to let the campfire burn out. It's been useful to try to counter some of the heat, keeping some of the heaters on low when they otherwise wouldn't have been, but I'm going to let it run out. It's not tattered, it's grunge. Alright, Ray is back down to 33%. Not really building much of a rapport with Zeusin, though. Surprisingly. And in 1 hour, it is the 1st of winter. And Axios is ready to torch some corpse for base heat. I mean, it's negative 110 out, so, like, I get it. It's a little grisly, but I get it. So now the inside of the base is very toasty, negative. It's above freezing. Significantly. And you can even see the heat kind of bleeding into the other rooms. A little bit. Well, we got the scan up to about almost 15%. Making some more progress there. And the sculpture that is demanded is done. It just needs to be installed. It would be terrible if I put it in the wrong one. Let's not do that. So there's the pilgrim sculpture that, like, interestingly kind of looks like Nabla. It's a carving image of a desert. And chemists fade in from the distance. I guess the chemists are making it warm or something? At least that's the delusion. I must say the base heat did not stay hot for long. As insulated as we think we are, we're not. It goes away quick. But it's a little boost. Take the edge off. It's just not really a decent solution. Not a long-term one. It was a desert. Yeah, a hot desert. Maybe a cold desert. I mean, we're kind of in a cold desert here, so... Perhaps I'm misinterpreting and it's of a Arctic desert. No, interesting the two of those corpses didn't burn. That's surprising. Now, we only have half an hour of campfire light left. Meaning, I'm going to turn the wall lamps back on so that we don't fail harvests. And Zeusum will be back to ground scanning for wood in a minute. All of our cooking skills going to complete waste now. I can't imagine this is a faster path than just walking through the water. So I'm kind of forcing him to walk the closer path by forbidding some doors. Even with the open doors here, we're warmer than ambient by like 10 degrees. Right, if I open up the heat map, it's kind of hard to tell, especially if you're colorblind. But it's warmer by like 30 degrees now. It just doesn't seem like much because it's still cold as hell. Nope, he's getting hypothermic. Time you go to warm zone. Would enclosing during the burning corpses? No, I'm never going to close these doors. No matter how many times people ask about that, those doors will never close because the ramifications of closing the doors could be horrible. Imagine if attackers having no path to the base decides to come in this way and destroy all of our hydroponics. It's a game over situation very, very quickly. That was entirely avoidable by just having an open door. So yeah, doors will never be shut because it's just such suicide to do it like that. All right, the other statue is done. Of a trumpet. You mean using a smaller space to vent into the scanner room, for instance? Yeah, I could try to channel the heat into other spaces. That would require a lot of engineering. So I get what you're saying now, is to try to use, like, vents to vent it into other rooms. So that it's not trying to heat up such a large space. It's an idea, but it's not one that I think I'm going to capitalize on, just because the amount of BTUs that it puts out so temporarily is not going to make enough of a dent in our heating needs that the effort for that is worth it. Prime Army. One's getting high on yayo. They don't have particularly scary weapons, and in terms of insulation, given that it's a negative 104 out, you're going to freeze to death. You're going to freeze to death. You two are pretty well insulated. That looks like Mega Sloth. Pretty decently insulated. Freeze to death. Freeze to death, freeze to death, freeze to death. Alright, more than half of them are going to freeze to death. So this is definitely one of those fights where I can just be like, hey, yeah. Feel free to come into my base and die there. So what I'm doing here is I'm opening up this door as a valid path into the base so that I can flip-flop the valid path from this door and add a huge path line all the way in. Which I think is going to be pretty brutal for the raiders. So then I can close this and they have to take the long way. And there's no sensitive things in here like components or lights, which they'll deign to break. Your name is Beard? Oh, Amaya Beard. If it was a nickname, I'd be confused. Ooh. You came loaded. Any of them else? Flake. 22 smoke leaf joints on Pavel. I did mention this before, but smoke leaf is a little dangerous to use when you face hypothermia, because the lowered consciousness from hypothermia and smoke leaf stack, and you can kill yourself getting high. Which is why you don't typically see me smoke it. Instead of getting shot, let's just let them freeze to death. We'll try for a no-wound raid. I'll have my shooters waiting, lurking, to go ambush again. Alright. Fish pick open that up. Pierogi closes. Double closes, just for safety. They come flooding in. Little do they know, Zeuson's on the other side, repairing faster than they can break. And now they're repathing. I can see hypothermia setting in quickly. For most of them. As soon as they step away from here... Yeah, now we go. Well, they turned quick, actually. Axios took a shot. Cardinal took a shot, but it was deflected. Oh, to your arm again. Can we stop taking arm damage? Well, at least Fishpick gets medicine practice. And, that counts for something, I guess. Good shot. Anyone that is undrafted is going to be scheduled to warm. And they're fleeing. The only worry that I have with fleeing is they might decide to bash doors on their way out instead of just walk. So, Axios, you come up here and make sure that doesn't happen. And it looks like we're going to need to do... Let's cook up another batch of NPM. How'd you just grab a forbidden meal? Where are you is it in your pockets? Oh, okay. Wondering about that. Which also means that in the case of warm, let's allow them here too. So that they can actually get nutrient paste. Oh, there we go. Because of the zoning allowance, I could batch it without even forbidding, which is kind of nice. Because they're not allowed to step off that tile to get the other meals. So they were like zone forbidden instead of physically forbidden. No, they're walking right out. I don't have to stop them. Saxes, you can go warm up. Yet another raid defended. Lots of drugs acquired. A lot of social drugs, which is kind of nice. And a lot more corpses now to deal with. And I'm guessing a lot of the people that fled, like, didn't even make it out. They probably just froze to death. I think, given how little heat gets added functionally when burning corpses in batch, I'm just going to start torching them like this. I haven't really noticed that this effort is worth it anymore. I think keeping it in there for, like, absolute emergencies might make sense, but everything short of, like, a life-threatening emergency, I no longer see a value in the micromanagement and of doing stuff like that. Alright, Zeuson's about a third of the way to the next scan find. Nice. I think I'm gonna risk some wake up here so that I can really push the scanner hard today. I was hoping to pair that with work drive. I should have probably waited for a work-driven drug binge. And of course, the stalwarts don't have drug restrictions, whereas the pilgrims do. The pilgrims are social drugs only. Oh, come on. Go work. So we didn't end up finding it. I just want to keep playing a little bit longer so that I can have the... Oh! To end on a marriage, I guess. Didn't see that coming. The very last thing that we have this stream, just about, is the wedding between Fishpick and Cardinal. 5 seasons, not even, like just over a year past Novelist passing. But a wedding will certainly help the mood, I think. And now that that's true, double bedtime. Or a pierogi dog. It's just like, damn it! Perpetual bachelor. He gets his own bedroom, though. Yeah, quite a mood boost for attending a wedding. I'm not going to have to worry too much about negative mood modifiers for a bit. And I'm just trying to get Axios to get everything all set up for next stream, so I don't have to micromanage anything right as I start playing. Helps me as a streamer. Helps my brain. Oh, Cardinal. I didn't realize that you didn't want to consummate. And decided to just go to sleep on the floor. I missed that. Is that some sort of pirate tradition? I'm gonna guess. She's an ex-pirate. Could be my assumption there. And that, friends, is where I am going to leave off for today's stream. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Frostwardens.